Yadyakshidrishya Kripa Drishti Vishyati Dinam Vatano Grihane Shamam Agnam Idyakshidrishya Kuveratmaja Badha Mutyai Vayadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajau Krutaucha Kuveratmaja Badha Mutyai Vayadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajau Krutaucha Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha Namaste Studamne Swaradipti Damne Tadiyodarayatha Vishwasya Damne Namaste Studamne Swaradipti Damne Tadiyodarayatha Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Vyoluka Ladavamanam Taram Rasnam Atyanta Todrita Gopya Yashoda Vyoluka Ladavamanam Param Rasnam Atyanta Todrita Gopya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev. Gurudev Jai Jai Gurudev Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev Jai Shri Damodar Prana the Padma Purana of Krishna Daipan Vyas spoken by Satyavat Muni in a conversation with Nad Muni and Shona Krishi. In the month of Kartik, one should worship Lord Damodar and daily recite the Purana of Shri Damodar, which has been spoken by the said Satyavat, which attracts Lord Damodar. The Swami Shri Hari Bhakti Vilas, Canto 2, Chapter 16, verse 198.
Number 1, to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greatest speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Seeing the stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning in the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing
I think the connection issue there. Can somebody else read it, please?
Hare Krishna. By such childhood pastime as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conception of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
Number 5. O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by lots of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like a bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. Number 6. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisance unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By sharing your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eye.
O Lord Damodar, just as the two sons Kurev, Manigrava and Okawa were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you, as you form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Jai Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri Kartik Maas ki Jai. Shri Damodar Astak ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Gurudev ki Jai. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswamiti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurmani Prasayana Nivishesha Sundari Pasadi Nistarine. Hare Krishna. So all of you are doing well. Very nice. You are doing well too. Okay. Hare Krishna. So today is the
is for 2022 year, this will be our last meeting for Kartik on Sunday, because I think in New Zealand the Kartik is over on the Tuesday, it's the last day. So this year was very special year. This year we really had a good Kartik. I really felt it. I don't know how you guys felt. Did you guys feel the same? I felt the same. It was very, very nice, very loving. So I thought that in today's discussion, then we should have one more program on Vrindavan, on the pastimes in Vrindavan of Lord Krishna. And next week we'll have realizations on all of our Kartik months programs, which we had for the whole 1 month. And all the devotees, including the Damodar Lila pastime, starting from that, the Vaishnava songs, then we've got concert of Bhagavad Gita also we had. Then we had a devotion to Krishna never fails, devotee Kartik program. And then we had how teaching the Prabhupada in our own realizations have impacted us, and today's class. So our next week's program would be by devotees, all of you, on your specific on our Kartik months program that we had. What was something more which inspired you, which you'll take with you, So here we go. I've given you 1 week more than a week's notice now, Okay, so let's do our quick prayers before we start by the accent college mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vijay. Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Jai. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Destarine. Hare Krishna. So, as we conclude our Kartik Mass in our Sunday's program today, what would be more appropriate than discussing about Vrindavan, Ramya Sthana. There's a very beautiful song, bhajan, by Sri Narottam Das Thakur on this. It talks about love of Radha Krishna and how Vrindavan is the perfect place for it. Similarly, Ramya Sthana also means place for sporting. And Krishna Balarama also enjoyed themselves in Vrindavan. Sri Vrindavan Dham actually is full of life. Everything exists there, completely transcendental. And the trees, there are kalpataru trees, wish-fulfilling trees. Everything is completely spiritual. When Krishna and Balarama were present here and enjoyed there in the sporting way in Vrindavan, although they were the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they covered themselves as just cowherd boys, just simple cowherd boys. And they enjoyed there. And we will see today in our discussion how Vrindavan, the forest of Vrindavan, along with the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the trees, the bees, the monkeys, the cows, cowherd boys, gopis, gopas, how they enjoyed and reciprocated with Krishna and Balaram, and how Krishna and Balaram enjoyed there. This will give you some experience of what to expect in Golok Vrindavan. So this is from word to word synonyms, translations, and purports by the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. It starts with this. Shuka uvacha tatascha paugandavaya. Excuse me, it's a different tune. Tatascha paugandavaya shrito vraje babhuta tustau pashupala sammato gascharayanto sukhibihi samampade Vrindavanam punyamativa chakrutaha. It's very beautiful. Here Sukadeva Goswami is now narrating in the background. See here, he says that Paugandavayaha tatascha Paugandavayaha Shritovaji. Shrito means to attain. Paugand means the age, Paugand, from 6 years to 10 years. So Krishna till this time was 5 years old. In that he killed so many demons, including Aghasur and all of them. Putana he killed when he was hardly a toddler, baby, small baby. So Krishna and Balaram gave a lot of joy, as we discussed in our previous, sessions, Bhagavad. So in the Pauganda age, from 6 to 10, they have now attained there. In Vraje, Vrindavan. Now they are walking around in the forests of Vrindavan and all the forests on their own. They were not still Kaumar. Kaumar means till 5, as I said. So at this age, one very important event took place. The event is called Gopa Ashtami. Gopa Ashtami. That date was on Tuesday, 2nd of November, 2022. Gopashtami day is a day when actually Nanda Maharaj accepted Krishna as been grown up, and he has now graduated from an apprentice. As an apprentice, he was tending just the cows, cows. But now he was given the responsibility of tending cows, very big cows. If you go to Vrindavan even now, in some places, you'll find the actual breed of Nand Maharaj's cows still there. Yeah, they look different. Even now they look different. I was stunned when I saw them. Beautiful. So big, Krishna was still 6 years old. But he was Paugand age. So when Shukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Ram and Krishna attained the age of Paugand, 6 to 8 years, while living in Vrindavan, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending the cows. And second thing happened, They say, Gashcharayanto sakhabhihi samam pader Vrindavanam punyat ativa chakrutaha. So, samam padehi Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakrutaha. This is the time where they were walking bare feet in all over Vrindavan. So another name of Vraj is walking. Everybody walks in Vraj. Barefoot as much as you can, So because it is said they walked, Krishna and Balaram walked. This is the Praman. Here is a verse which says, So engaging thus in the company of their friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious. Punyam. Vrindavanam punyam ativa chakruta padaihi. So they rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. So this is the reason, this is the point. This is Shastra, this is the Shastra. So many things happened, around this time, before that, Now this particular point, so when demons were killed, Now this particular point of Paugand is also mentioned in the Kartik Mahatmya in the Padma Purana. It is stated, Shukla Shtami Kartike te tu Smruta Gopa Shtami Budhaihi Tad Dinad Vasudevo Abhut Gopaha Purvam Tuvat Sapaha. So on the 8th lunar day of the bright fortnight of the month of Kartik is known by authorities as Gopashtami. From that day, Lord Vasudeva served as a cowherd, whereas previously he attended the cows. See? So since Krishna's spiritual body had apparently grown slightly, in age and in strength, the sort of senior men of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda Maharaj, who was a king of all the cowherd men, he decided to promote Krishna. He get promotion to Krishna to take the task of heading the cows, from herding the cows to the regular cowherd boy, from cows to cows. So now he can take full-grown cows, bulls, and oxen for grazing. Out of affection, actually, Nanda Maharaj had previously thought Krishna is still very small, considered small and immature. Now he's grown up. He cannot take care of cows. Now he can take care of cows. So he did not, he and Balaram, Krishna and Balaram, did not wear shoes. They just walked barefoot in the forests of Vrindavan. Now that caused great anxiety to the gopis, the cowherd girls. Now they were the same age, 6 years. Don't think that cowherd girls and all which we think Rasa dance is when they were 20 years or 17 years. No. When they were this age, 6, 7 years. So this Vrindavan, the cowherd girls of Vrindavan, the gopis, Vrindavan, they were always very anxious and very fearful that Krishna's lotus feet were so soft. They should not become injured, get injured. So in the material world, if you live, they are transcendental. They're showing their affection to Krishna, from which how we should be learning also. How can they go? How can the Lord walk in the forest bare feet? Thorn may, stones are there. Just like when Lord Ram went to Ayodhya, went from Ayodhya to the forest, the Vanvas. This is exactly what the inhabitants thought. Oh my God, what will happen? What will happen to Lord Ram? He will be walking bare feet. So this is the same mood, you see. Those who live in the transcendental world have similar mood. Continue with this description is the next verse. It's a very interesting verse. I'll read the verse and then we'll have a description about this, okay? Tanmadhavo venumudirayan vruto goper grunadbhihi swayasho balanvitaha pashun puraskrutya pashavyamavishad vihartu kamaha kusuma karamvanam. These are very, very important verses. These are very, very important verses. Don't take these verses very lightly, you know. Tanmadhavo venumudirayan vrato goper grunadbhihi swayasho balanvitaha pashun puraskrutya pashavyam avishad vihartu kamaha kusuma karamvanam. Now here it is said that thus desiring to enjoy the pastimes, Lord Madhav, Krishna is called Madhav here, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys who were chanting his glories, not singing film songs, and accompanied by Lord Baladev, kept the cows before him, and entered the Vrindavana forest, which was full of flowers and rich with nourishment for the animals. These now they are entering. There's a scene, beautiful scene. You know? Now, Madhav, he's saying that desiring to enjoy some pastimes. That's what God does. What does he do? He just wants to enjoy. He finds different ways, innovative ways to enjoy. And his associates find innovative ways to assist in his enjoyment. His capacity for enjoyment is unlimited. We may want to enjoy, all of us. But after 1 year, after some time, not 1 year, 1 is too much of enjoyment, doing nothing, we'll feel bored, you know, we'll add weight, we'll just eat goodies, we'll add weight, we'll have diabetes. We'll become like a laddu, you know. Our slim body will be finished, you know. But Krishna can enjoy unlimitedly. So desiring to enjoy, Madhav, holding a flute, he plays his flute very well, and very loudly, you know. Surrounded by cowherd boys, friends, and they are singing his glories. That's what they do. Mother Yashoda also, and all the cowherd women and men in Vrindavan, when they were with Krishna, whatever they would sing Krishna and Balaram's glories. So the pastimes that we know, they know. Because of Srila Sukadeva Goswami and Srila Parishit Maharaj's inquiry, now we know in Bhagavatam. So they made poetries and bhajans from these pastimes, and that's what they sung. And sometimes they would have professional reciters making poetry of Krishna's pastimes, and they would sing. By doing these things, they would remember Krishna. So pure devotees take endeavor, they make endeavors to remember Krishna. This is one of them, to remember his activities and pastimes. And we do the same thing by constantly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. For the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's what we do. Requesting to be engaged, requesting Radharani to engage us in her and Krishna's loving devotional service. That's what we do when we're chanting. So the Godhead boys were enjoying with him, glorifying him, and he was soaking in. He was enjoying the glories. Accompanied by Baladev, they kept the cows in the front. See? And they entered the Vrindavana forest, which was full of nourishing, beautiful flowers and very rich nutrients for the animals to graze. Now, Srila Sanatana Goswami explains the meaning of Madhav. Normally, we have the meaning of Madhav as husband of goddess of fortune. But Srila Sanatana Goswami Acharya, Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada, gives us 4 different meanings of Madhav. So one is, as we know, the Lord who is the consort of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, Madhav. Second is, because the Lord had descended in the dynasty of Madhu, he is called Madhav here in this verse. The third is that spring season is sometimes called Madhav. So right now it's not spring in India, in Bharatvarsh. What is the season now in Bharatvarsh? Who will tell me? What is the season going on now in Bharatvarsh?
Sharad Ritu.
Sharad Ritu. Thank you. So why was it called Madhav then? Spring? Because he said that when Sanatana Goswami explains that it is understood that as soon as Lord Krishna entered Vrindavan forest, it automatically exhibited the opulences of spring, becoming filled with flowers, breezes, and a celestial atmosphere. And the fourth meaning of Madhav is that he enjoys his pastimes in Madhu, means a taste of conjugal love. That's why it's called Madhav here. See, Lord Krishna, he would very loudly play the flute, not just very small. He would play very loudly. The whole forest would hear as he entered the forest of Vrindavan. And giving this, it gives immense bliss to the residents of his hometown, Brajadham. So these are his simple, playful pastimes in the forest, playing of the flute, tending the cows. He performed daily. He actually went every day to the forest playing the flute, tending the cows in his own way. And that gave the land of Vrindavan complete ecstasy. Just by hearing this, it is giving us complete ecstasy. Wow. See, that's what Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila says, that we can have festival of Krishna every day in our mind. We don't have to reveal to everybody. But what is stopping us from thinking Krishna is going in the forest, playing his flute, tending the cows, 6-year-old boy, along with his friends. So beautifully he's seen. He plays, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is there we go. So ecstasy is something great. It is just studying, realizing, meditating, remembering. And that we share with people. Many times they say that Gopastami is when Radharani plays dressed like Krishna. Yes, there's one pastime there. It's not mentioned in the Bhagavatam, but it's there in some other pastime of some other Vaishnavacharyas. But it's happened few years later on than this. But this Gopastami actually means that Krishna was allowed to tend cows, not calves. And yes, after many years, Radharani had to change because she could not go. Her mother-in-law didn't allow her to go. It's a different pastime. So this is the point to be understood. This is the real pastime. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he looked over that forest now. He's entering, he looked over the forest, which resounded with the charming sounds of the bees, animals and birds, and which was enhanced by a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of great souls. How beautiful it is. And by a breeze carrying the fragrance of hundreds petaled lotuses. Seeing all this, Lord Krishna decided to enjoy the auspicious atmosphere. He said, this is perfect. You see, the lake is mentioned here having clear water which resembled the minds of great souls. So our mind is contaminated with so many things, Is it clear? Ask yourself. If not, then so many things are there inside, The clear water, gutter water, you choose. And from there, we have to come to this point of clear water. And this clear water we can achieve by remembering his pastimes, chanting his glories, doing meaningful service in our devotion to Krishna, our bona fide way. So we should know what is this pastime. It is this pastime. And Radharani became Krishna, dressed Krishna much later on, because she was not allowed to go. Because she wanted to go, Krishna arranged for it with his friend Subala. And Subal planned it like this, and she changed the dress and she went. But mother-in-law did not allow her to go. So the Lord Krishna saw that the Vrindavan forest was giving pleasure to all five senses. Transcendental senses, transcendental pleasure. You see, the entire forest, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Prabhupada, our Acharya, has explained the significance of this verse. Now he says that an entire forest was endowed with heavenly beauty, which was giving spiritual bliss to the eyes, and the senses were enjoying. Krishna enjoyed this. See, because the lotus, 100 petals lotus, cool breeze flowing, carries aroma. And with those, that aroma enters into the nostrils, gives us that pleasure. So wind is also very sweet. You see, sometimes you see in springtime, the wind is sweet, We experience that here in New Zealand too. Because of the pollen moves, it's very sweet. People have got, because of that, they've got pollen flu, They take medicine. They're sneezing, they've got medicine, so many things. I remember my friend, he passed away. He was real funny, he was very good, I used to call him Tiger, very ferocious man. He was British, So, this Tiger would tell me, this Eddie, this woman, my next door neighbor is an old woman. She has a tree there, which flowers during spring. And I get all this hay fever, I'm sneezing, coughing, what the hell is going on? My eyes are dripping, I'm nearly dead, And when I go and tell her, why don't you chop off the tree? She said, no, but this tree is giving such nice fragrance. It's so beautiful flowers. I said, you woman, don't you understand? I'm dying there next to you. He would crib. Every spring he would come out with crying like this to the office. Sneezing, coughing. I said, what happened, Tiger? Your neighbor said, yeah, the neighbor, man. Bless him. He's left his body some years ago. Good friend of mine. So, the sweetness of the wind, even the sense of taste was being stimulated. Sense of touch was stimulated here. This description goes further, and then some action happens. It says, Satatra tatra runapallava shriya phala prashuno rurabharena padayo sprushas shikhan viksha vanaspatin muda smayan nivaha grajamadi purushaha. See, he says that the primeval Lord saw that the stately trees, established stately trees with their beautiful reddish buds and their heavy burden of fruits and flowers were bending down to touch his feet with the tips of their branches. Thus he smiled gently and addressed his elder brother. See here, you will find this description being narrated many times, that in Vrindavan even the trees would bend down to give its fruits to Krishna. This is that point, this is the verse which talks about it. Satatra tatra runapallava shriya. Shriya means with beautiful. Pallava means the birds. Phala prasunoru bharena padayoho. So with the tree, with the fruits, and the flowers being overburdened, heavy. So to his feet, they were trying to touch his feet. So tipping the branches were tipped down, touch his feet. So seeing this, the Lord smiled gently and addressed his elder brother Balaram. You see, the word muda, smayan, indicates that the Lord Krishna was in a joking mood. He knew the trees were actually bowing down to worship him. But as it will be indicated next, coming soon, next verses, that he, in a very friendly way, light-hearted mood, gave the credit to his brother Balaram, elder brother Balaram. They are doing it to you. And this is what he speaks. Krishna is speaking now. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Aho ami devavaram rachitam padam bhujam te sumanaha phalarhanam namantyupadaya shikhabhiratmana tamo pahaitye tarujanma yatkrutam. See, he's saying that here the word Amara is referred to the demigods. So Devas are sometimes called Amar. Now, why are they called Amar? Amar means immortal. We know they're not immortal. We know they live long. They're also living beings. Why are they called Amar? Thing is this, that the lifespan is very big as compared to human beings for the heavenly planets. That's why many times, and at times, generally also, the Devas or the demigods are called Amar. Means they do not die. They eventually die though. But, So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said to Balaram, O great Lord, O greatest of Lords, just see how these trees are bowing their heads at your lotus feet, which are worshipable by the immortal demigods. The trees are offering you their fruits and flowers to eradicate the dark ignorance that has caused their birth as trees. So the Lord is saying this in glorification of his brother, elder brother Balaram. That because the trees are born in dark ignorance, we know tree birth is ignorant birth. Therefore, to purify themselves, they are offering these their flowers and fruits to the lotus feet of yours, which are worshipped even by the demigods. Actually, what the Lord is saying is, the trees of Vrindavan, it is so fortunate to be born in Vrindavan that Lord Brahma, when he prayed to Lord Krishna, when he was astonished to see Krishna expand himself into so many forms of cows and other cowherd boys, then he said that, what is the use of my birth as Brahma, the creator of this universe? Let me finish my this service and let me be born as a tree on your path in Vrindavan, where all your devotees would walk over me, or a grass, blade of grass. That will be the most fortunate birth. Now Brahma, the creator of the universe, says this. Whereas here it is mentioned, the Lord is saying that the trees are thinking, they're offering the fruits because to eradicate the darkness of ignorance that had caused their birth as trees, dark ignorance, which was the cause. So the trees of Vrindavan, now the trees of Vrindavan were thinking that because of past offenses, they had taken birth as trees. And being immovable, they could not accompany Krishna wherever he went throughout the Vrindavan area. But the fact is this, that in Vrindavan, all the creatures of Vrindavan, including the trees, cows, they were great souls who could personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because of their ecstatic sentiments of separation, the trees considered themselves in ignorance. And thus they tried to purify themselves by bowing down at the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, offering whatever they had. So Lord Krishna, understanding their mentality, simultaneously glanced at them with affection and praised their devotional service before his older brother Balaram. In both the things, by saying that the trees are offering you their fruits because fruits and flowers to eradicate the darkness, dark ignorance that has caused their birth as trees. So here's the reason. Then the Lord continued. He said, "O original personality, Mr. Lord Balaram, these bees," now he's pointing out individual things now. So he's glorified the trees and the shrubs. Now he's talking about the bees. These bees must all be great sages and most elevated devotees of yours. For they are worshipping you by following you along the path and chanting your glories, which are themselves a holy place for the entire world. The word uses tirtham, place of pilgrimage. So the bees are following Lord Balaram and Krishna, and they're glorifying them. Chanting their glories, which are themselves the holy place of pilgrimage for the entire world. Though you have disguised yourself within this forest, O sinless one, they refuse to abandon you, the worshipable Lord. So Krishna is saying that you are the Supreme Personality, thank Lord Balaram, and you are disguising yourself as the Lord, as a simple cowherd boy, but they know you. Your devotees know you. So they will refuse to abandon you. You are their worshipable Lord. So he's talking about this to Balaram also and for himself also. So they just took birth as ordinary human beings, in this material world. They looked like one, actions were not. They did not like one. They are looking very beautiful, transcendental. But still, Kamsa, Brahma, Indra, they could not unify it. Not only the demons, If the demigods could not identify Krishna, his God, their own Lord, whom they worship, just see. But his devotees understood. The great sages will always recognize the Lord as the supreme truth. With devotees' eyes, the Lord can't escape. That's why, with their love, these devotees, they control Krishna. He can't escape. Those who are not his devotees, they can escape. Because you cannot control Krishna. He can do whatever he wants to do. So when he came as a cowherd boy, Brahma thought he's an ordinary man, ordinary cowherd boy, 5-year-old kid. Indra said, what is this? My Govardhan hill, they're worshipping me now. Suddenly now they're worshipping Govardhan hill now. What nonsense is this? Hare would come, let's pour some rains, and he had to be penalized, punished. Kamsa was killed. So Krishna's birth, everybody waited. Kamsa was also waiting for Krishna's birth because the 8th son was going to kill him. So he was also waiting for Krishna to take birth to kill him. Now, Tirtha means place of pilgrimage. It also means that the means for crossing beyond material existence. It's Tirtha. So simply by hearing the Lord, the Supreme Lord, or the chanting of them, one immediately comes to the spiritual platform beyond material existence. Thus, the Lord's transcendental glories are here described as Tirtha for everyone in the world. You see, those great sages, many times they have the vows of silence, and this is considered selfish to keep silent. Many of them have got Moni. Moni Baba keeps quiet. Boy, obviously he'll keep quiet. He doesn't do anything, man. What will he speak? He opens his mouth, people will laugh at him. He's foolish. What is the English word for it? A person who fool is identified with when he starts to speak, So better to keep quiet. Moni Baba. And we say, oh, you're such a great person. He's keeping quiet. But he only knows. Quietly, if he smokes his cigarette, he can come back and keep quiet. So many times, real devotees, they also still keep quiet. The keeping quiet meaning, real silence meaning, talking only about Krishna and his glories, not talking any nonsense. That is called silence. And to limit one's verbal communication to describing the activities of the Supreme Lord is silence, and that is purifying. Discussing statements, relevant to loving service to Krishna. You see, another word, a point is that the bees were constantly following Lord Balaram and Krishna. Wherever Krishna Balaram goes, they go, because they're wearing garlands, of forest flowers. Their mothers decorate them nicely. Plus, they go out in the forest and decorate themselves, pick up nice flower, wear here, nice different, they apply different colored, what the word they're using? Ointments, herbs. Beautiful. They are like, and description is that they are like drama actors. This is how they were dressed. Always. Ready for a drama, So when these bees were constantly humming around them, wherever they go, they're going, So the Lord is saying that you're tolerating, my dear Lord Balaram, these bees. And you're telling them, don't worry about it. Keep following me. If you want to come to my confidential grove, where I spend my time privately, you can feel the fragrance of there also. If you want to come, join me there. They're constantly following you. So wherever there is Krishna, you'll find bees, bunch of bees there roaming around. Okay, now the Lord continues, telling Lord Balaram, oh worshipable one, these peacocks are dancing before you. Now he's glorifying the peacocks in Vrindavan who are doing service to them. So here this, oh worshipable one, these peacocks are dancing before you out of joy. This doe are pleasing you with affectionate glances, just as the gopis do. And these cuckoos are honoring you with Vedic prayers. All these residents of the forest are most fortunate, and their behavior toward you certainly befits great souls receiving another great soul at home. See, saying this again, these are not ordinary living beings, these are great souls. You know, dove. Have you anybody seen dove? It's a white dove, isn't it? Dove is a white dove. Anybody seen the dove? Are you fortunate enough to see the dove? Anyone?
Yes, Prabhuji, I've seen it long time ago.
Yes, yeah.
You're very fortunate. I was very fortunate. We had about 3 doves outside our home, the other day. Beautiful white colored dove, very different kind of tails they had, like these are tails. Yeah. But these Vrindavan doves, great souls. They all are giving, they were giving affectionate glances. Peacocks were dancing. So whatever they could do best in the service to the Lord, they were doing and showing their affection. Cuckoos were honoring them by singing Vedic prayers beautifully. They are not ordinary living beings there. Then this earth has now become most fortunate because you have touched her grass and bushes with your feet, her trees and creepers with your fingernails. And because you have graced her rivers, mountains, birds, animals with your merciful glances. But above all, you have embraced a young cowherd woman between your 2 arms, a favor hankered after by the goddess of fortune herself. You see, Krishna and Balaram's appearance on earth now, Adya means now, indicates this. Because they were walking on the feet in Vrindavan Dham. And they were imprinted. All the devotees of Vrindavan at the time, they would go into ecstasy seeing the lotus feet of Krishna's imprints on the Vrindavan ground. Whoever came to meet him is completely ecstatic, they would go. On the fingernails, it's very interesting, they said. The fingernails have touched her trees and creepers. So that means that they used their hands and fingers to pick up fruits and flowers from the trees, bushes and creepers, and to use them as paraphernalia for the pleasure pastimes. And they would sometimes they would also break leaves of the plants, and use them with the flowers to decorate their bodies, Even goddess of fortune want to embrace Krishna in this form of Vrindavan. Although she is constantly with him as Lord Vishnu, in the form of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha. But she couldn't get this opportunity. So just imagine this. These are the pastimes of Krishna as simple cowherd boy. In all other incarnations, there's awe and reverence. He's God, but to worship him. In Vrindavan, in this particular form of Krishna, in original form, he displayed what he actually is as a person in Golok Vrindavan. In all other incarnations, he was representing himself as what he is in Vaikuntha planets, with awe and reverence as God. God means of God. Here is Krishna in play. So now Shukadeva Goswami is thus expressing his satisfaction. Thus expressing his satisfaction for the Lord. With the beautiful forest of Vrindavan and its inhabitants, the Lord enjoyed tending the cows and other animals with his friends on the bank of the river Yamuna below Govardhan Hill. And now Yamuna has become what in Delhi? The foam there, There's politics there also. I did it, you did it, he did it, that did it. But for Yamuna, you cannot even put, your feet there. Unimaginable. Unimaginable. You see, sometimes, now, is it actually that bad? Someone who's from Delhi, Hare, mother, you are from Delhi, isn't it? Yes, is this true?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's very bad right now. It's not even bathable. Like you can't, as you said, you can't even dip your feet on it.
How do you guys have water then?
We have there are water treatment plants. So a lot of it. So my dad is actually he is in the Delhi Jal Board itself. So he was actually telling me that it's very bad in the Yamuna water because it's stagnant right now in Delhi. There is no flow, and so there are a lot of water treatment plants just to treat like a small amount of water. But still, the supply is low and the quality of water is also very low. Like they have to go through a lot of processing just to have like at least water that you can bathe in. So,
oh my God! What about drinking? What about drinking water? Where do you get drinking water from?
Even that has to go through like a lot of chemical treatment and a lot of processing before it reaches our houses.
But you still are better than people are from England, in London. They use in London, I'm living in London. Maharaj would say, man, they would have water treatment plant to use the toilet water, wastewater for drinking and all these purposes. Can you believe this? Oh my God. It is your Yamuna water, Hare Krishna. Okay. Oh no. Kali Yuga. Finish off life and death now, and that's it. Go out of this material world. Don't ever come back. Don't ever come back.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
I think, when Prabhupada was there, I seen that the Prabhupada was taking dip in Mother Yamuna. That time the quality was good.
No, that was in Vrindavan, not Delhi.
Vrindavan.
Not Delhi. We're talking about Delhi.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and Delhi is very bad.
Okay. So, Shukadeva Goswami said, thus expressing his satisfaction with the beautiful forest of Vrindavan and its inhabitants, Lord Krishna enjoyed tending the cows and other animals with his friends on the banks of the river Yamuna below Govardhan Hill. This is how he concludes, And then he says, sometimes the honeybees in Vrindavan became so mad with ecstasy that they would close their eyes and begin to sing. You see, because the bees, they drink nectar from the flowers, So there with Vrindavan, in the flowers, with Krishna was there, present with Balaram. This was Golok Vrindavan atmosphere. Very intoxicating. And seeing Krishna with their eyes, drinking the nectar, they would close in their eyes, in ecstasy And they would start to sing, glorifying Krishna. Then Lord Krishna, moving up along the forest path with his cowherd boyfriends and Baladev, would then respond to the bees by imitating their singing, while his friends sang about his pastimes. So the friends are singing about Krishna's glorification, and he is imitating the bees singing about him only. Sometimes Lord Krishna would imitate chattering of a parrot. Chatting there, must have seen that. And with a sweet voice, the call of a cuckoo. Sometimes cooing of the swans. Sometimes he vigorously imitated the dancing of a peacock, making his cowherd boyfriends laugh. I was very interested when it was mentioned vigorously imitating the dancing of a peacock, because peacock's dancing is very graceful. So why was it mentioned here? Vigorously. Because Krishna would tell sometimes his friends, just look at this peacock, he doesn't know how to dance. And then he would show the vigorously dancing. He couldn't dance properly, the peacock. And they would all make them all laugh, big laughter with the friends. Sometimes with a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds, he would call out with great affection the names of the animals who had wandered far from the herd, thus enchanting the cows and the cowherd boys. So he would display all these different pastimes, just as an ordinary human being, with extraordinary skills. And that's why devotees of Vrindavan, associates, just loved him because what he was. And they were all his associates, not ordinary people born there by chance. See? Sometimes he would cry out in imitation of birds like chakoras. It's mentioned there, Craunchas, chakravahas, bhadarvajas, and peacocks. And sometimes he would run away with small animals, with smaller animals, in fear of lion or tiger. He would hide quietly, mocking, as if he's afraid with them. Because in Vrindavan there are no lion tigers. There is no need for fear. But you will still mock them, be with them, enjoying the moment. As I said, he's a great enjoyer. Nobody can beat Krishna's enjoyment, how he enjoys. So that's why if in your life, if you have exclusive Krishna in your life will be full of enjoyment. Even in difficulty, you can still enjoy with Krishna. Provided he should be exclusively with you. That's our challenge. Then, kvachit krida parishrantam gopotsango pabarhanam swayam vishram yati aryam padasam vahanadibihi vishram mayati. So when his elder brother, fatigued from playing, would lie down with his head upon the lap of a cowherd boy, Lord Krishna would help him relax by personally massaging his feet and offering him other services, This is also pastime which narrated, Krishna taking care of his elder brother. So this is the actual point in the Bhagavatam. Pada samvahanadibihi. So Lord Krishna would massage Lord Balaram's feet, fan him, and bring him river water to drink. See? And then sometimes as the cowherd boys danced, sang, and moved about and playfully fought with each other, Krishna and Balaram, standing nearby, hand in hand, would glorify their friends' activities and laugh. This is what they do. Did you see him writing examinations? Getting his degree, doing job, being serious, doesn't do any of these things. He just enjoys. His friends are enjoying, the friends are enjoying, he's enjoying. The friends are enjoying with him, he's enjoying with them. That's it. So why should we not go back to Godhead? This is what we do. Just enjoy. That's it. So hard. It is so hard to do that. So hard to do that. Because it is so simple. This is exactly what is going on in Golok Vrindavan. This is what Krishna did when he was present. He and Balaram would hold their hands and see their friends fighting, singing, dancing, and moving about here and there, doing some nonsense activities, you know. And they would glorify their friends and activities, and they laugh. And sometimes Lord Krishna grew tired from fighting with friends. How will he get tired? Well, you get tired, playful. With his friends, he can do anything. Sometimes Lord Krishna grew tired from fighting and lay down at the base of a tree, resting upon a bed made of soft twigs, and buds, and using the lap of a cowherd boy friend as his pillow. You see, understand one thing: cowherd boyfriends, they would not allow Krishna to lie down just like that under a tree. They would run enthusiastically and very hastily to construct a bed of twigs, leaves, and flowers before he would go and sleep. When he would just say, "I'm tired now, I'm going to sleep," they would run around, pick up things very fast, make bed ready, and he would go and sleep there. And then he would put his head on the lap of one of his friends. And some of the cowherd boys at the time, who were great souls, would then massage his lotus feet. And others, qualified by being free of all sin, would expertly fan the Supreme Lord. So not everybody can fan the Supreme Lord. Those who are free of all sins and who are truly great souls with many, many lifetimes of devotion to Krishna. Not one lifetime, many, many lifetimes, unlimited lifetimes. They get this opportunity to do service with Krishna in association with him. It's not possible to go. Don't think this is ordinary one lifetime and you can do this. You can. But it's your servants. These are so confidential pastimes. I can tell with reasonable certainty. We may have heard so many things about Krishna and Balaram. So many Krishna kathas we must have heard. But this depth we would not have heard. This is only because of Srila Prabhupada's purity. Even his disciples could do such nice service. Then this is a very beautiful verse. Anye tad anurupani manognani mahatmanaha gayanti sma maharaja sneha klinna dhiya shanaihi. Remember this words. Sneha klinna dhiya shanaihi. I'll come to that. The translation is, my dear Lord, other boys, when all this was happening, they're fanning Krishna, and massaging him, said, my dear king, other boys. My dear king means Parikshit Maharaj. Shuddha Goswami are referring to him. My dear king, other boys would sing enchanting song appropriate for the occasion, for the occasion. And their hearts would melt out of love of the Lord. And their hearts would melt out of love for the Lord when they would sing appropriate song. Sneha klinna dhiya shanaihi. Sneha means by love. Klinna means melted. Dhiyaha, means their hearts. Shanaihi means slowly. As they sang, glorifying Krishna's pastimes, enjoying with his friends, seeing this, fanning, massaging, other boys singing appropriate songs, their hearts would melt out of love for the Lord. And our hearts are melting just hearing what they have done. What Shuddha Goswami is narrating to Parikshit Maharaj. Is it not so? Is it not so? And at the end it says, Evam nigudatma gatihi swamayaya Gopatma Jatvam Chariter Vidambayan. Reme Ramala Litapad Pallavo Gramyai Samam Gramya Vadisha Chestitaha. In this way, the Supreme Lord, whose soft lotus feet are personally attended by the goddess of fortune, concealed his transcendental opulences by his internal potency and acted like the son of a cowherd. Yet, even while enjoying like a village boy in the company of other village residents, he often exhibited feats only God could perform. Hare Krishna. So we should understand this, that Krishna always operates on the platform of his internal potency. He's got three potencies. One is internal potency, second is external potency, which includes Maya. It includes this material nature, inferior things, makes us attached to this material world. And third is marginal potency. Marginal potency are us living beings who are spiritual by nature but very small. And because we are very small, we can be either influenced by his external potency, which is inferior, or internal potency, which is superior. Krishna operates in his internal potency only. But even if we are serving Krishna, remembering Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, that itself gives us the chance to attach to the internal potency. But to really understand the pastimes of Krishna, Leelas of Krishna, we have to work very hard and come out of the bodily concept of life, act on the platform of spirit soul, understand the Bhagavad Gita, memorize verses, understand the deeper meaning, implement these Bhagavad Gita concepts in our lives. And as we do so, with our chanting is expression of love to Krishna. With our service of cooking for Krishna, by chanting, not just cooking is good enough. No, he does not require our food. I'm vegetarian, but I don't know anything else. No, we have to follow Ekadashis. We have to chant minimum certain number of rounds, at least 16 minimum. Those who are new in this new class, it's okay. You can just start off. But maintain it. Don't go up and down. Keep one level and increase it. 16 is minimum. Study in association of devotees. These devotees who are tutors in our Hare Krishna weekend, they work so hard. They give their time towards you, to you, so that you get a chance to study properly Prabhupada's books and understand this. If you have felt even a little bit of ecstasy today, then this is the credit goes to all your tutors who worked very hard on you, with you, holding your hand. We have a particular way in doing things, We don't like nonsense behavior. And this is how your earning, which you do, the earning money is utilized nicely because your home is a temple. The cooking is for Krishna, becomes Radharani's kitchen. Income is purified, the mind is purified, even your fighting is purified in the family. Because you come back to Krishna, He's in control of everything. So please, this is the way to live a very happy life and finish the cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Godhead, to be like this with Krishna, with his friends, as a friend, as a lover, neutral, as a servant, as a parent. Being anxious about Krishna, anxiety about Krishna is the best. The best way to handle anxiety is to preach. Don't start preaching now, those who are new. Get trained up. Start a preaching program. This preaching program, if you follow nicely, if you give your time, your money, your resources, then I can tell you it's the best way to engage yourself. Otherwise, it's very difficult to engage. Even if you've got hundreds of devotees and you celebrate some big festivals, you come back home, you are again alone. You don't know what to do. How much can you just keep reading, man? That you will not read, I can tell you. But if you preach, then you'll be forced to study. You'll be forced to read, forced to understand, forced to meditate, forced to speak. When you speak, all this process has to go through studying, memorizing, remembering, and speaking. You are purified. That's why preaching, my Guru Maharaj, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say, or Guru Maharaj, that preaching is done for our benefit, not for others. If they get benefited, well and good. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. With this, we conclude today's discussion. And with this, we also conclude our Kartik Mas, Hare Krishna weekend programs on Sunday, because it's going to finish now in a day or two. I don't know, in India it is tomorrow or day after tomorrow. New Zealand is day after tomorrow, the last day. And next Sunday, we will have a program where all of you will give your realizations as to what was the thing which most inspired you in this whole month of Kartik, of all the programs that we did on Sunday, or Sunday programs that we have done. Of this, what is the one thing or two things, not more than that? Prioritize it. One is best, which inspired you, and that will change your life. That way, because we have worked very hard to give out these programs and share these programs, like today, last Sunday, Sunday before that. So keep it only to that much. Yeah. And we'll do it for 3 hours full. It'll be nice. Thank you very much. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada's disciples ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shinitai God Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Shishananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna. Now, before we conclude today, does anyone have anything to say or any questions? Please feel free to ask now. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Ambarish, for taking back to us to Vrindavan. And I remember those days, I keep telling my devotees, not my devotees, sorry, devotees, about that how experienced when we went together and we went those places and looked at those trees and Madhuban and all those things and all those stories and all those temples. But I think today's class was very nectarine, as you rightly said. And we could feel that, at least I could feel it. The enjoyment which probably, that's what Krishna is actually enjoying, and that's why devotees want to do the same thing. They want to practice. Maybe it's a many lifetimes matter. And other thing about you talking about demigods don't die, Prabhu. So I wanted to clarify, maybe my understanding is not correct. Means they die when actually Brahma's night comes, or they have a natural death like human being, or something related with the material annihilation.
Yes, no. Those living beings who are in Brahma's planet, they die with Brahma. But those who are below that in the heavenly kingdom, including Indra, heavenly planets, they die earlier. They've got different lifespans, much earlier. But as compared to earthly lifetime, obviously mere 100 years, because our 12 months is 1 day in heavenly planets. So 6 months night, 6 months day, if you work that way. So that is there. 1 day is our 1 whole year. So our whole lifetime is 100 years, maybe 60, 80 years. That is 80 days. And they may live for so many hundreds of 80 days, thousands of 80 days. So that's why technically on earthly platform, it is mentioned as they are Amar. So many times in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are referred to as Amar. But again, they've got grades. As I said, those who are above the heavenly planets, they go and they die a bit later on. Because even when Brahma's night comes, till heavenly planets, everything dies. So they are dying, their destruction is called pralaya. It's called kalpa. So kalpa comes every night of Brahma. So all Indras and all that all die before that. And there are 14 Indras in one day of Brahma. So just like human being has got 12 months is one day for the demigods, let's say of Indra. Similarly, in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Indras come and die, different Indras. And they're referred to who's the Indra, which living being is going to become Indra. Indra is a designation. See? So the 14 dies, 14 Manus die in one day of Brahma. So as Brahma lives for hundreds years. So how many Manus, how many Brahmas come, how many Indra comes in one lifetime of Brahma? So many of them. 14 times 30 times 12 times 100. Those many Indras are born. Let's see, 14 times 1 day, so 30 days is 1 month. Times 12 is 1 year. Times 100. So 504,000 Brahmas come in one lifetime of Brahma. 504,000 Indra comes in one lifetime of Brahma. So this is the time scales. You see, that's why demigods are called Amar. You know, it's controlled everything, all input together. You know, because Brahma lives for so long. You know, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu, that's perfect. And also one more thing which we normally talk about is that these demigods and demons fight. Means, of course, demigod gets killed. No? That's why they have to go and look for shelter. So they definitely die, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Anybody else wants to clarify or say something before we finish, please?
Thank you, Amrish, for this wonderful class. I think, as Avinash Prabhu said, you know, it is very wonderful Vrindavan pastime. But yeah, before this, I never heard, you know, the description of actually Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan, because we used to hear he used to always enjoy, but how he actually enjoy, you know, the way you described. And I think it is all discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, to giving us a glimpse. You know? Because Prabhupada always say that God always enjoys, you know, he has nothing to do. So that was very nicely put forward. Actually, because even I was thinking means being the actually part and parcel of God, you know, all the living entities, means they may have the same propensity, you know, maybe that's why we hanker after it, but we cannot able to do that because we're in this material world. So maybe that's why you said, no, we have to go back, you know, so we can actually realize this position. What Prabhupada always says, Anandamayo Bhashat. No? So we running after the Anand, but we always get baffled in this material world. So yeah, I think very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you for actually explaining that part. You know? The difference we realize that why is so. Sometimes, you know, if you're not actually in touch with the devotees, the life is always a struggle. You know, it's not very enjoyable. But when you're actually listening to Krishna's pastime, at least for a moment, we forget everything, all the troubles. So that impact is there. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shraddha. This is for actually my benefit. I do not know if others benefited. That is not the purpose. It's actually for me. And as it is said, you know, that these are the pastimes which we hear, which we sometimes see when you go to Vrindavan, we see, or Mayapur. Or when we read, Prabhupada saying this, disciples are saying this. You know? So these are the pastimes that we can remember in our heart. Heart is like a hard disk, and you can rewind it, pick up anytime when you want to pick up. Just like, you can watch Netflix movies, or whenever you want to do it, or it's on the computer, you save things, you can go back and listen to it. Same thing, the heart is a supercomputer, very, very subtle. And that's why the mind of great sages are pure. That is what is described, And that's like the lake, clear lake. This is how we can make our mind lake very clear. Don't complications. Doesn't require complications. Do service. Like we had a big Prabhupada's Disappearance Day service, such big event we did, Very nice. We're glorifying Krishna every day, In our program, we study, we discuss, yesterday, today, so much involvement, so much engagement. So yeah. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's there in Prabhupada's books. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. Thank you very much for your class, and thank you for sharing the description of Vrindavan and how Krishna and Balaram Vrindavan is a Ramya Sthana. So, yeah, that you rightly said, Prabhuji, that because of these pastimes, and we hear that, so help us when we chant, so we can remember those. And so I really want to say thank you to you to sharing these descriptions. And I think previously we studied that Srimad Bhagavatam describes in so details that everything is in detail. And so we can understand, and we can imagine, or we can visualize in our mind, like how, and we just transport it to that scene or that place. So thank you very much for sharing it, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu. Hare Krishna. As I said, it is for my personal benefit, because it is said, this Bhagavatam, anything about Krishna, the person who speaks is purified, the person who hears is purified, Here I'm not speaking. Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada are speaking. Here I'm hearing only, So we all are purified with it. And one day we'll realize this, all that we are hearing. Because Bhagavatam is never incorrect. You can experience that sitting in one place. We don't have to run around anywhere else, jumping up and down. Yeah. What you require is peace of mind. If associating with devotees gives you peace of mind, please do so. If not, then proceed with Prabhupada. He is very much eager to speak, Vrindavana Ramya Sthana. Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for allowing me to speak, share what Guru Maharaj to say, Srila Prabhupada has to say, for my benefit.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, as everyone said, it's very nectarian. And I really was trying to meditate on that point where you're describing how everyone is trying to serve Krishna. So even a little thing, Krishna wants to go to sleep, and then how the arrangement is made, And that kind of really inspired me, because like when we're staying in our material world, so-called, then obviously we're serving so many other entities and things and everything like that. And then in that, trying to be Krishna conscious, we're trying to focus on serving Krishna along with all this, So I felt like it's good to have that shift, that you try to focus on serving Krishna, and then everything along can come along with it. That kind of shift is really necessary for the right consciousness. So yeah, it's just amazing. Even small things like how everyone is focused around Krishna, if anything, and then everything falls into place. It's a very, very great realization from reading Srila Prabhupada, like, and how you explained, Prabhuji, that if everything is focused around Krishna, then everything else is taken care of automatically. And it's much better that way rather than trying to do everything else and then bring Krishna in the center. So yeah, I felt that was very, very nectarian, and how wonderful. I was thinking we can bring that into our lives, even here in our material lives. It's not that we cannot do that, because Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada said that you can do that in your even by staying in this material world, you can experience that consciousness. So and it also sounds so beautiful, just the pastimes, just going what Krishna and his cowherd boys are doing. You want to be there, like that. So yeah, like, what are we doing here sometimes? That's the thought that comes to mind. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you. And this is only when he was 6 years old. He was just 6 years old. Imagine this. Just the 6 years old. It's complete nectar. Complete nectar. Yeah, Hare Krishna, that's right. But with Krishna, we can be anywhere. We should have Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj. So, yeah. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just one point that you mentioned, Prabhuji. The Krishna and Balaram, where you said they used to go into this Vrindavana forest bare feet.
Sorry, Prabhuji, 1 second. I'm not. I had to reduce my volume when my wife spoke. So now I'm trying to increase my volume. Just 1 second. I'm not able to hear you. Right, can you? Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry.
No, Prabhuji, as one point I actually remembered when you mentioned about Krishna and Balaram, when they used to go into this Vrindavan forest, and they said they used to go bare feet, not wearing any foot protection. So I was thinking on that point, because when we're small, Prabhuji, we used to actually play around bare feet, go anywhere bare feet, and we used to get hurt and all that. It was all normal. And now I'm thinking we all lost all that, Now we have big line of shoes and branded things that we wear. Even we have shoes in the home, and in bed also we are always wrapped up. But actually, with having all these facilities, we're still, not very that much joyous. When we're small, we have nothing. We used to enjoy more without all these material things.
Yeah, true. True. You used to go barefoot. That's right. I used to go barefoot too. Whole day we used to go. Where all we used to not go.
So India has that still, bit connection with the Vedic stuff. In New Zealand, we miss that. I never see any children now. They walk in summer sometimes, but usually they are all, shoes and all that.
Yeah. Well, my son's boss comes without shoes in our office. Really, he just comes one day, walks without shoes. I said, "Well, Jack, you don't have to spend money on shoes." And I told him, your boss comes without shoes, so it's all right.
Yeah, you're not allowed, Broji. Once I was walking and I've been told off to. I got a warning not wearing the shoes.
Yeah, in office. In office. So your voice is you're muted now.
Yeah, Prabhuji, it's a production side, so they say you cannot walk, so without safety shoes on.
Yeah. Oh, we've got, who is this? Shushti Mataji. Oh, you're covering your head. My God. What's happening? You're a sister of Shruti, right? Shushti Mataji, right? Shushti Mataji, can you unmute yourself? Yes. Yes, Shushti. Yes, Shushti. It's all right. That's right. You can talk as well. You are her sister, right?
Yeah.
First time you're coming to cover your head, man. What is going on? I hope nobody has forced you. Very nice. Very good. Mataji's all ladies should be covering their hair is very nice. Best. But we don't force anybody, you know. We don't force. It's very nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, we've got Pradyumna also. Hare Krishna, Pradyumna Prabhu. Nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Today you don't have NCC today.
No, Prabhuji, I have some
some time from work from NCC today.
I took the day off today.
Okay, okay. Well, nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Shuchi Mataji is busy preaching, everybody. Very nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. While we're talking about Shushti, I met Shushti in Nagpur, and she took little time to actually join our group, be so active. But she was very enthusiastic, very happy, very much involved. And I also saw her first time with covered head. And okay, what's happening here? And obviously they're inspiring each other. And also the best part is that she's already doing 16 round Prabhu. And they are also doing Ekadasi also without me telling them that you do it. I said, why you are doing this Ekadasi now? Who forced you? Same question. So yeah, they're very serious, Prabhu. And Shushti is very serious. And she's attending almost all the classes like Divyanshi does. And Suchi also there. So they are very serious, Prabhu.
Very nice.
And Pradyumna is obviously doing a lot of things, but he also shows up there.
Very good, very good. You're doing nice service, Prabhuji. Very nice. It's your powerhouse there. All the best to all of you. Please keep doing. This will benefit you only, you know. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. If anyone wants to say something, even in YouTube, you can write some comments. Hopefully I can pick up from somewhere a question or something. That'd be great. Okay, so we can conclude today's program then. Very nice. So next week, for those who are new, I mean, for Shushti Mataji, Pradyumna, don't worry, you are just come for the first time. So you can hear next week. But all others, if as I discussed, that we can request that whatever we studied during Kartik on Sundays, anything 1 point or about 2 points maximum, but I like 1 point, you know. So one really has to think very hard that really inspired you and which you will try to implement in your life. Maybe remembering some past time, remembering some things, you know, for the Kartik, you know. So please, I've given you that more than a week's time, and you can prepare yourself very nicely. Yeah, I mean, you guys can also join. Others can also join. Like, if it's not forceful for Pradyumna and Shushti Mataji, otherwise, all welcome. Okay, wonderful.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just quickly clarifying. So if Shushti Mataji and Pradyumna want to give realization, they can still do it, but they are not obliged to do it.
Yeah, because the 1 month, I don't know whether they heard our programs or not, you know.
You are on YouTube, Prabhu. We are on YouTube, Prabhu.
If you heard on YouTube, that's good enough. That's why we keep it there.
Because we have been discussing this, they have been discussing this throughout the month, yeah, even if not in the class. So they are not forced, but if they want, they can still do it, Prabhu.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. But keep it to what we discuss on Sunday programs, That's fine. Please, most welcome. It'll be wonderful, actually. It'll be very good, wonderful if it can happen. Okay, so whose turn is it today now to sing?
Subhadra's turn, probably.
Oh, Subhadra's turn. We'll also have one day Madhav's turn too. Hare Krishna, Subhadra, कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है? Hare Krishna, Madhav. Subhadra always looks, every week she looks older to me, man. I think she's about to get married now, Anytime she'll get married soon,
She's growing
Next
fast,
week she'll get
probably.
married, My God, you be careful as Sanjay Prabhu. Your daughter means they grow very fast.
Yeah, they grow very fast.
Yeah, seriously, I think when she's going to get married now, Okay, wonderful. Subhadra, very nice. Now, Madhav, I think I heard you speak very nicely, So I think we should have one session for you as well, exclusively for singing Maharaj. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
No.
No, yes.
It's confident in half, after half, we just still practice.
No problem. What we'll do is, we'll keep it this way. So today, let Subhadra speak, just sing. Next week, we'll have Madhav singing, okay? And then he needs help, you can help us. We all can help. Both of you can help him, Only that's how we can learn, No problem at all,
Yes,
it's all good. And then we'll have, after that, we'll have Navina's turn. Okay, now it'll become more confusing for me. Only when there's two singing, I get confused. Three singing, I get more confused.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Therefore you
we will sing. If our room is clean,
then our mind is
then our mind is clean. If our mind is clean, we can do anything. If our room is clean. Yes, sir?
If our room is dirty, you're right.
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
We are dirty.
We are dirty. We're not happy.
Wasting time.
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime. Because wasted time means a wasted mind.
Your time.
So best use your time
In your prime.
when you are in your prime.
Your whole life.
And your whole life will be sublime. If your wealth is gone,
Nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong. If your health is gone, that's a different song. If your character dies, then the world will cry. Only saintly behavior, less humanity thrive.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna.
We must always remember Krishna and never forget him too. But how are we to practice this with so many things to do? That is the greatest question. Here is the greatest clue. You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you. So listen very closely and make your thinking sharp. Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart. If something's due tomorrow, finish it today. Whatever's due today, do it now, don't delay. Your friends might be lazy or doing bad things, but you think again, don't follow them, and you will win the end. Whatever work we given, we do our very best. We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest. This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, see Krishna every day. And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with the heart full of love. So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. The only way this world will ever become sane. Now please ask his greatest question and find his greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna if Krishna remembers you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Krishna Balarama ki Jai. Shri Kartik Mas ki Jai. Shri Radha Damodar ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaur Vani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desharine. Hare Krishna. Sanjay Prabhu, I think we could not hear her voice. It's always the case. We can't hear her. So maybe something wrong with the microphone or should be a distance or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. It was very low or we couldn't hear at all?
Couldn't hear at all. Sometimes we could hear something, otherwise not. Most of it. It happens regularly.
Okay, bro. And what
we can hear
like
you
following?
Yeah, we can hear you when you are speaking, when you are echoing.
Following.
I mean, when you are, but we can't hear her.
Okay, bro. Yeah, I'll sort that out.
Yeah, but when they will give the translation, when we started at the beginning of the class with Damodara Stakam, we could hear everything. But this always we can't hear.
Okay, bro. Yeah,
all right,
I'll see what's going on. Yes.
Okay.
There might be, a bit of a delay, Prabhuji, I think. We can sort of hear her like about 3 seconds after she speaks. So it's just like towards the end that we are able to hear her, but the initial part we can't hear.
Okay.
That's a bit low, so it might be because she's standing up or something. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, might be standing far. I think that's
maybe
why.
Yeah,
yes.
Maybe.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So now, Krishna willing, we will see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Now, no more Krishna's pastime so easily. We don't speak about Krishna's pastimes. We are very particular about philosophy. We will go back to that now. Okay. Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna.